I really wanted to study at a business school that is very prestigious, and I believe that Henley is the most prestigious business school in Africa, and certainly in South Africa. Action learning is fantastic because it's relevant and it's real-world examples. You really have to apply it in a real-world scenario, and just like in the workplace, you have to deal with people who have different character traits, different personalities. We've had so many fights in our ALP group just in terms of getting things done, and getting the meetings set up, and meeting the customer and making sure that deliverables are done on time. That's what makes the ALP just so relevant, because it really mimics the real world work environment. I work in an extremely pressured role. I'm in sales, and it is, it's just pressure. It's, my kids and my wife, supporting me in terms of, making sure that I give this my best shot. But also, equally happy that I'm able to find that fine line between the balance, work and life, and children and kids and marriage. But I must say, Henley inspires me to do it good and to do it well. Having to recalibrate, I guess, my mind, back into studying and being a student is not the easiest thing, especially, after you haven't studied anything for a good number of years, and then getting back into the whole motions of having to do coursework, having to do assignments. The first module at Henley was all about personal mastery and being the best version of yourself. And of course it's a journey, and having to relate this back to my children in terms of how they would grow up has just been a revelation for me, in terms of just being aware of diversity and being aware of myself and how I can be more relevant and a better person in this world. And I think it's going to stand them in good stead going forward. There is a lot of work in terms of coursework to get through, but what would have been the most difficult for me is, just still along this personal mastery journey, we have so many flaws and character flaws as human beings, and understanding, for instance, experiences that have happened in your past and recent past, and how those experiences actually influence the person you become and the way that you react to certain situations, situations at work, situations at home. That for me has been, I wouldn't say difficult, but very, it's been very revealing about who I am and the person and the character that I am. And of course, as much as revealing who I am, but also revealing the areas where I need to improve from a personal perspective. So that for me has been really valuable. I think when I started at Henley, it wasn't so much about getting the certificate or the qualification. It's more in line in terms of how do I become more relevant. So my journey to relevance in this fast changing, crazy world. And I do believe Henley and the coursework and just the way that they do things is prepping me to be exactly that, to be more relevant, not just in my role as a salesperson, but also, as I mentioned, in terms of being a better father, a better husband, and it's part of the self-mastery journey. If you don't master yourself, you cannot master your career or your future. I wanted to start with a good foundation, and not just go straight onto the MBA, but I really wanted to start with a solid base, especially bearing in mind that I haven't studied for a very long time. So in a sense, it was just making sure that my mind systems are calibrated correctly, and then I'm climbing the ladder now in terms of going to be doing the PG dip as the next step, and then finally the MBA. So, and knowing myself, I think I would have bitten a little bit more that I could chew if I tried to take on the MBA straight. But I think the ADMP has been fantastic training so far in terms of just the discipline and, making sure that you get things done. managing workloads, managing expectations, not just with your family, but from a work perspective as well, and also the coursework. So that's why I chose the ADMP, and I think it's also a very nice, well-rounded course from a management perspective. I think as humans we are afraid of what we don't know and afraid of failure. But if you embrace the journey that you're going to learn, and you're going to learn at a fast pace, and you're going to learn things that enrich you. And once you embrace the process, it makes it that much more easy. So I would advise anybody who's looking to do an ADMP or a PGDIP or an MBA at Henley to really embrace the process. The process works. Yes, there's a lot of work, but it can be done. We have this adage that we use in sales, like what is sales? It's like herding cats. And sometimes you can apply that to the ALP group. It's literally herding cats. But once again, it's just understanding different personalities and how people work and how people get things done. And working in that diverse framework is great, and that's why the ALPs just work so well. That for me has been incredible, an incredible journey so far.